Good day, everyone. This is the last of a series of 3 presentations. In the next 6 minutes, you will learn why today is the right time to consider digitizing sustainability in your business and why you may consider China to try it out. The key messages of today are that environmental data is now widely available in China, green manufacturing is being incentivized, and green financing is maturing. In my previous presentations, I illustrated how environmental governance in China over the past 3 years has made a 180 degrees turnaround on environmental governance, and how this paradigm shift is rapidly changing China's landscape. Last time, for example, I illustrated how environmental big data in China now allows to predict which factories over time will fade out, for example, for reasons of environmental or urban or industrial planning. This map shows individual factories, each with a color representing its risk profile. Red, for example, means there is an immediate risk for interruption in the production. Orange, for example, means the factory will fade out and needs to meet specific requirements to continue operating. You can use it to manage your operations and supply chain or to monitor your clients and competitors. Do you remember the controversial Made in China 2025 vision? Things suddenly became silent around this strategy after it got a global backlash from other countries seeing China as a threat. So, did this strategy become a much ado about nothing? Well, nothing is further from the truth. In the meanwhile, China has established its green manufacturing system in 2018 as planned and is now initiating a systemic upgrade of China's industry. After this quick recap, let's continue the presentation. You probably have seen during COVID how China leveraged its ability to collect data to monitor and control spreading of the virus. The same ability is now being used to collect factories' environmental data via various sources. COVID even has accelerated this process. On March 22nd, China's State Council announced measures that aim at building a digital business ecosystem. This digital ecosystem connects state-owned and private enterprises with universities, innovation centers, and service providers. The purpose of this is to enable a more systemic upgrade of its industry, leveraging available big data and artificial intelligence. Imagine what the effect of this is going to be by 2025. Last year, the authorities moved from a system that used inspections to push factories to comply with environmental regulations to a new system that supports and incentivizes factories to upgrade and improve their environmental performance. Just like every citizen in China has a QR code to see if they are infected by the virus or not, factories now have an environmental credit score. This score will, by the end of 2020, be linked to the National Social Credit Scoring System. In the same way people were engaged in the process of solving the virus problem, factories are now engaged in upgrading the value chain and promoting entrepreneurship. The result is going to be that over a relatively short period of time, the best green manufacturing companies in China will start prevailing and take over the market. Green financing and green bonds are another important development. China's green bond market is the second largest in the world, but so far has been struggling to break through due to the lack of a national standard and misalignment with international standards. However, just last week, the People's Bank of China, the National Development Reform Commission, and the China Securities Regulatory Commission finally aligned and jointly published a draft Green Bond Endorsed Project Catalog. It has 204 categories detailing out specifics, and this typically is an indication of upcoming implementation. The largest bank in the world, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, the ICBC, also just published its very first report on ESG. These are important developments and indications for what China is aiming at. Investors not only are attracted by good returns, but also by transparency. Banks and investors in China are now able to screen portfolios of, for example, 10 or 100,000 assets in no time digitally. Companies with a digitized environmental governance system can manage a big part of their risks from behind their desktop. Currently, anyone in China can, via the free Blue Map app, get a first indication of the risk profile of many companies in China for free. The data can be used to score, categorize, and compare companies or even cities with regards to potential business resilience risks. Leading companies in China already have started changing their risk management systems to feed on available live data in China. This figure shows how this kind of data can feed into the existing company systems such as SAP. Okay, here the speed course of 3 presentations covering digital governance in China ends. In case you would like to know more on how to access and leverage China's data, or how to use data to manage your risk or improve your operational excellence, feel free to reach out. We all are facing major transformations globally. This is a good time to contemplate and re-evaluate your competitive position and business relationships with Chinese companies. Systemic changes are happening, affecting cost structures, winning market strategies, and last but not least, company branding. Some of the companies I'm working with have used COVID to effectively increase their revenue and market share. That means it is possible. Thank you for your attention.